What's going on, guys? The Casuals Fantasy Football Podcast, back at it again. Episode 11, draft review. It's over now. We got to wait for training camp. Nothing great. Wake up, Bo. We got 4 mics today, broadcasting chaos and mischief.
Bravo.
Ben, how you feeling today?
Pretty good.
Bo Jangles.
Hey, Daddy Jangles.
What's going on? Oh, Richie, what's going on with you? Opposite of Bo, obviously.
I'm doing fan-freaking-tastic because the Browns killed
Nobody
the draft.
cares, Richie.
Oh, everybody in Northeast Ohio cares. I love
I
what
don't
the Browns
care.
did.
Nobody cares,
care.
Richie.
Well, I mean, but I am excited to see what Davis Mills does in Houston.
Nobody cares, Richie.
All right. Anybody going to ask me about me?
How you doing, Ken?
I'm doing all right, Ben. Thanks for
man.
Thanks for caring.
Of course.
All right. So on today's show, we're going to do a little bit of news. We are going to do something different. After the news, we're going to go right to top 5. We're going to double up on it. We're going to do top 5 great picks, or however you want to word it, for fantasy, and our top 5 disappointing picks for fantasy. So
5 Titans, guys.
I'm sorry, you need a hug.
I could use one here.
We're going to cater more
tell
towards the fantasy relevance on the top 5.
Yeah, it's just going to be, quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends.
Yeah, we're officially, now that the draft is over, we're officially a fantasy show.
Yeah, well, that's what we're going to, except for the news part, probably.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
going to be. All right, let's get to some news.
Have I got news for you?
All right, guys. Really, the only thing I think worthy of talking about right now, news, is the Aaron Rodgers blow up.
Debacle.
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like, I think it was purposely leaked at the time it was. A little bit of payback for the Jordan Love thing last year.
Yeah.
How you guys feel about
Just
it?
in time.
What do you think, Richie?
Something came out this morning about him wanting to. He's not going to come back unless they fire the GM. I mean, that's I don't know if he has something over the GM or them drafting the replacement for him last year in the first round. But it's kind of crazy. I mean, I've heard a lot of things, like Denver, and I know Bo had mentioned before the show about Seattle and Green Bay swapping quarterbacks, but it's kind of insane. I mean, he just came out of nowhere, like you said, kind of like perfect timing for the draft. But
I don't think he wanted the same shit to happen that happened last year. That was the blunt of it. I mean,
what do you think, Ben?
It's hard.
Wow.
So
Is my zipper down?
Very hard. No, it's...
the table's
I will
still
say,
straight, not flipped.
the part of it that's crazy to me is that Aaron Rodgers is completely in control. Because that team either A, keeps Aaron Rodgers and keeps pushing to win a championship, or B, loses Aaron Rodgers and just is in complete rebuild mode. So for him to come out and say either the GM is gone or I'm out, I think that makes it serious. I didn't care prior to hearing that.
With raise of hands, since we're on video, how many think this is a smokescreen? It is absolutely. I don't think it's a smokescreen at all. So
That makes me think it's even more of a smoke.
Yes, right?
why is that?
Who's your source?
Who's your source?
I can't tell you.
Yeah, no one cares about your feelings, Ken.
I don't have any
I'm over
feelings.
here depressed as hell,
I told you I'd hug you.
and I'm still waiting for it.
We can't do it right now. We got to do it after the
Let's
show.
hug under the table with our legs.
Yeah, mine will reach, but yours won't.
Don't push me because I'm close to the edge.
Bars.
I'm trying not to lose.
Everybody, we need to send emails to Bo to get well soon mentally. Maybe send him a couple.
They don't need to go to Bo. They need to go to the Titans.
hey, I'll tell you what, this Josh Reynolds' stock goes up.
All right,
We on the
guys.
top 5 yet, bro?
Yeah. All right. That's enough. Anyway, enough with Aaron Rodgers. Time will tell, but ultimate power move. I think we can.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
He's,
all right.
he's trying to muscle his way. To get
All
his, get his, he's going to pull a Carson Palmer, I think.
Yeah.
I'm trying to retire.
Take my ball and go home.
Well, in his defense, if he retires, he could be the next host of Jeopardy.
Yeah.
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 He's not cruising for a pay cut if they're not going to give it to him.
Nope. I agree. All right, guys, let's do some toppity top 5.
Top 5.
All right, guys, what do you want to do? You want to do good ones or bad ones first?
Oh, we just did a top 5 beat, so let's do good ones.
Okay.
'Cause I got a little remix for the.
All right, so we're going to do top 5 great picks for fantasy. And we'll do our normal order. We'll go Richie, Bo, Ben, and myself.
Well, you saying great picks kind of makes me feel like an idiot for having this as my number 5, but
All right, well, we gotta, let's do number 5.
Oh, that's me.
Number 5.
I'm out of it, y'all.
but I chose Trey McKitty for number 5. I feel like he could go in and definitely be like a tight end.
Where did he
too.
get drafted?
I think it was 4th round.
No, where?
Oh, Chargers. I'm sorry.
There you go.
I'm sorry. But I think he can come in right into a starter role.
He kind of looks like Jared Cook a little bit.
I think he could get the targets for sure to be able to be a tight end too. Have more importance in a tight end premium league, but he can come into some targets with Justin Herbert.
That's all right. That's just a
blow up.
projector.
God damn.
Yeah, it's just a projector cooling down. So if you guys hear a buzzing, that's just our overhead
It's just
projector.
Ken's stomach digesting his food.
We did have Chipotle after this. I might have to take a break half hour. My number 5 is the great Amon-Ra St. Brown. He just lucked into a beautiful spot. He's walking into potentially 150 targets year 1, which is mind-blowing.
Yeah, in theory.
Yeah. Williams isn't going to stay healthy. Perriman ain't going to stay healthy.
That's assuming he stays healthy. I mean,
he'll stay. Have you seen his dad?
The only question mark there for me is Quintez Cephas, because I do like Quintez Cephas. Will he be anything crazy that takes away from Amon-Ra St. Brown? No.
Well, first, back to St. Brown. He's got some Mexican supplements that help him quite a bit.
Mexican?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Not Amon, but his dad. So you can't compare the two. He's got Mexican supplements coursing through his veins. Anyway.
Sure. He was conceived with those Mexican supplements active in his dad's system.
Go ahead, Ben. I'm sorry. I didn't.
No, you're fine. I was just saying Quintez Cephas is really the only thing he's got to worry about, and it's Amon-Ra St. Brown, and really him and TJ Hawkinson, and you can only throw to tight end so much, so it's looking good for him. That's a good pick.
Because they didn't draft any receivers, theoretically, that DeAndre Swift stock is just
shooting up.
Yep.
Skyrocketing. And I got all of them.
And they did take a flyer on a pretty decent running back in the last.
Jamar Jefferson.
Yeah, they got Jamar Jefferson.
He was number 6 in my running backs.
Yeah. So he's definitely going to push those guys. Yeah, they're going to push those other running backs. Well, not Jamal Williams is there too.
I know, so I'm saying Kerry might be out the door.
Yeah, there's an odd man out somewhere. Who's your number 5, Ben?
My number 5 is going to be Michael Carter to the Jets at 107. He's going to be a bit of a stash until you figure out what they're doing with him, but their running back room needs some help. And whether or not he's the long-term answer doesn't really matter. He's going to get some run. So it's a good hold.
My number 5 is Elijah Moore for the Jets. I think he's going to open up things for pretty much everybody on that receiving crew.
He's in the same spot as Amon-Ra.
Yeah, I think he. I don't know about the same spot there. They have other weapons. I mean, they got. I see one of those guys maybe getting traded or just released outright. Yeah, outright.
Out the door.
So, but they signed Keenan Cole. Off the top of my, they have Corey Davis, Mims. I think it helps
They didn't
him.
draft a tight end.
Yeah,
So do they like Herndon?
I mean, Herndon's a hella athlete.
Yeah, he's a beast. He just can't stay healthy.
40 seconds he's on the field.
Yeah. But I like Elijah Moore as far as being able to work within this receiver group and Zach Wilson's got weapons. He's going to have more weapons than a lot of the quarterbacks that are coming into the league.
I agree.
I mean, running back, like I said, Michael Carter's the only other running back I think that
I don't
other
want
than
to
Najee,
get on.
but
I don't want to get on either of those too much because
right. I mean, I'm
we'll
sure
get
other
there.
5s are on here, but I like Elijah Moore in that offense. No excuses for Zach Wilson as far as I can see.
And you know I love Elijah. And Richie was at the house for day 2, and when he got picked, my hands went right over my face.
I mean,
foreshadowing.
It also helps that they got Vera Tucker to go with Becton on the line.
They drafted for Zach Wilson.
Yeah, for sure.
Big time.
So,
Big
so
time.
I like what the direction they went with the new,
I like Solid,
new
man.
management.
He's going to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Solid's a great coach.
All right.
He's so good.
Number 4.
So my number 4 is Justin Fields. I don't know if he comes right into the starting role, but just the pure fantasy aspect, he brings a lot to the table with running the ball. He has a good deep ball. He's got good weapons in Chicago, and I like how they grabbed Daz Newsome in the 6th round. I like that pick a lot. So
they did.
Do you think Justin Fields has any pull for A-Rob staying?
Oh yeah.
I don't want to kill Ken Shine for later in the show, but even though some people don't like it, A-Rob is rejoicing.
Mm-hmm.
Who was it?
So too.
Eddie Jackson said that's the best quarterback that he's played for.
Bro, people don't think. Like, there's people there that you're shitting on that's still going to be on your team. Mm-hmm. You're just destroying team chemistry. Why even say, if you don't got nothing nice to say?
Yeah, don't say
Don't say anything at all.
But no,
like, our other guys suck. Bring this dude.
if he was a start game 1, which I don't think he will, but if he was a start game 1, I could see him being top end QB2.
That's a huge slap in the face to Andy Dalton. To go from being tweeted and posted on Instagram about you being QB1 to drafting Justin Fields and you just taking a back seat, that's tough.
They gave up a first rounder next year to jump 9 spots.
They wanted Justin Fields.
Not only that, but they drafted Tevin Jenkins.
I was reading before the draft that teams were so hesitant on trading 2022 picks because their stock is just shooting up. Like, apparently they hold so much stock in those 2022 picks.
Well, and the stock with the 2022 picks is going to be held within the combine. There's actually going to be you have to assume.
Allegedly.
But there's going to be a combine next year.
Yeah,
So
next year there's going to be even more smoke being blown on these guys that do well at the combine than there ever has been.
Which I can't wait for Dynasty next year.
Mm-hmm.
The Dynasty part of next year, dude. I'm on number 4.
Yeah, who you got?
Excuse me. My number 4 is kind of a double differ. I said Clemson wide receivers. Mm-hmm. Obviously,
Amari Rodgers.
The Amari Rodgers pick in the 2nd round. Was it 2nd round? No, it's 3rd round.
Third.
The A Rodgers potential connection is sweet. Mm-hmm. But Cornell Powell, man, going to the Chiefs.
What round was he drafted in?
5th.
5th or 6th?
I want to say 5th. I mean, he's worth a flyer in every dynasty draft.
100%.
3rd-ish round, and the 3rd round.
I'm sad because Byron Pringle's probably out.
There could be in some drafts, in some rookie drafts, there are going to be some people reaching.
He might be worth a
on
flyer
Powell.
in redraft. I mean, all he has to do in offseason is beat out DeMarcus Robinson. It ain't gonna be that hard for him.
I don't agree with that.
I don't either.
I think he's going to cut his teeth on special teams.
I
I don't
think
think he's going to go right into running routes.
I
for
think
the
he could
offense.
become like
I think he is,
more
man.
of a tight end.
DeMarcus
don't
Robinson and McCole Hardman have climbed through that depth chart. I don't think
They
they're
don't
going
have a
anywhere
receiver
very
like
easily.
him.
They don't. I mean, Robinson's not far from him. I mean, they're about the same
Robinson's
size.
a twig. Cornell Powell is a
I know he
boulder.
looks big. I don't think Robinson's as small as you're thinking he is, though. I don't think.
Oh, he's tall, but he's Devontae Smith, but 10 inches taller.
I don't know. I don't know what his measurables are, but I don't think he's a measure. Did I say measurable?
Measurable.
I think Richie's looking it up.
Measure bubbles.
I'm trying to, but it's not.
Oh my god.
Oh, there it goes.
Marcus Robinson, I'm gonna say 6'3", 195.
6'1", 203.
I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Cornell
he's
Powell's-
big.
what's
He's
Cornell?
probably like 5'10",
Come on,
220.
Ben. Let me
He's a
me
rock, dude.
keep my
Yeah, I know.
thunder.
I know.
They don't have a receiver like him. I'm just saying he's worth a flyer.
Oh wow, Cornell Powell, 6 foot 210.
Yeah. So I mean, they're
I
close
pictured
to
him.
pretty similar.
I had pictured him to be bigger than that.
Yeah, they're pretty similar. So I just don't know that he's going to just walk in there and beat people out. I don't.
I'm not saying that he is, but that is his.
I think he'll, like I
Path
said,
to
with the
playing
5th round pick, he's going to have to make it on special teams and then work his way into the lineup. That's how I see it.
He just
but
stole your thunder.
he's definitely.
Me?
Yeah, he stole
For
your
what?
thunder. For Powell.
He's not changing my mind.
No, I definitely think he's talented enough to do it. But with that talent pool, I don't think he's just going to kick the door open and be like.
Yeah, I think this is a screaming Hardman because they didn't use a high.
He's on his
draft
last
pick.
year. Hardman's on his last year of his contract, so he could very well be out.
They just didn't they re-sign Robinson?
He was a second.
They re-signed
he was
Robinson.
A second rounder.
Yeah.
I was thinking he was a first rounder.
Yeah, they re-signed Robinson, but I don't think they've even talked extension with Hardman. So
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead, Bo.
I was just going to say I respect your opinion, but I disagree. So
that's fine.
The thing that Hardman gives them that the other receivers doesn't is special teams work. McCole Hardman's a freak on special teams, so I think they'll take that into consideration.
That's how he stayed, relatively.
Jalen Waddle season.
Yeah.
They'll get a thank you card.
All right,
That's what I need for my.
Who's your 4, Ben?
My number 4 is also going to be one of my bottom 5s because of who it hurts, but Trey Sermon to the 49ers.
I feel like we're gonna have a lot of the same top 5.
He's not nowhere near my ship.
Not on top for sure.
Yeah, that's the running backs are obviously I value running backs more than anything else in fantasy, but that's.
How do you like Miles Sanders?
I hate Miles Sanders. He's trash. Whoever has him should trade him for like a third. But yeah, Trey Sermon, he can catch the ball. I'm disappointed because of how small the sample size is. He didn't really start playing well until the last 4 games of the season, but he carried it throughout the playoffs extremely well. Got hurt in the first play of the championship game.
Yeah,
First drive, I think.
Yeah,
it was definitely the first or second. It was close.
Yeah, and that really sucked for his stock. But I think he could come out and do very well, especially with the running backs he has to beat out. I think he's hard chilling there.
My number 4 is St. Brown. So pretty much we've already talked about it.
Opportunity.
And I believe, he's not on any of our list, but I think the Surratt kid that when there is unsigned is going to create some waves as well.
Oh, St. Surratt?
I think so. He's a big kid, great hands.
Big force?
Yep. And his brother got drafted too, linebacker from North Carolina. He went pretty high, second or third round.
Yeah. He used to be I didn't know he used to be a quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was surprising me when they were talking about him in the draft.
Yep.
Third
so
round.
Athletic,
it was in my house.
athletic family. So I think Surratt's going to make a splash as well. With
Wake
St.
Forest
Brown.
in Carolina.
It is in. Yes, it's in
I knew
South
it was
Carolina.
ACC, but-
So, all right, number 3.
Cool.
Number 3.
So my number 3 is Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm trying to take. Actually, I took off Trey Sermon because he was up here too. So I'm trying to find more guys in my head as I'm going because that way we can kind of keep it different. But I will follow Amon-Ra St. Brown because I really like the fit that he got to. A lot of comparisons to Robert Woods before the draft. So
I was leaving that for you.
yeah, him coming in, playing with Jared Goff, amazing route runner, very quick in and out of his routes. I think he ran a 4.5. They can't see my hands. He ran a 4.51. So I think
Woods is a little quicker than that.
yeah. But no, actually same 40.
Okay.
But I really like the fit, and like Bo said, like
His
Ken
dad
said,
is a stud.
his dad is huge. But he can fall into 115, 120 targets as a rookie.
Which is, yeah.
And he can easily fall into that wide receiver 2 range as a rookie. But I see them being down a little bit in some games, especially in that division. But
Just for comparison's sake, would you agree that Darnell Mooney kind of walked in and had a lot of targets his first year?
Yeah.
He had 80. Which is nice for a mid-round pick.
From that offense, it's nice.
I'm taking 80, 90
Yeah,
targets
seriously.
every day of the week for that type of receiver. And to think Amon-Ra St. Brown, 4th-round pick, NFC North,
and St. Brown's more of the
30 more
possession
targets
guy
is a lot.
to where Moon. I'm not big on I'm a fan of Mooney, but I'm not big on what he does.
I love Mooney.
But Amon-Ra St. Brown is a possession guy, and he can run routes very well. And I think that fits perfectly with the quarterback that Jared Goff is.
It's a good one. I like I said, I left.
Is that me?
I never have. No, it was me. Mike has the helmet. Let's go. Yeah, I kind of teed up. Left it sitting
I
there for
appreciate it.
Robert Woods.
I appreciate it.
My number 3 is another double dipper. I just put Pittsburgh Steelers. with Harris and Freiermuth.
Ooh.
I mean, both of them are just perfect Steelers. Both are tough dudes. I mean, and instantly they're going to come in and produce 110%.
The reason I don't have Harris on my top 5 as good ones is because they have to work the offensive line out. He's only going to be as good as the offensive line. So
I have him on here, and my notes say Steelers football is such a defined thing, and both of them just fit that mold beautifully.
right.
So the only
Just tough, produce, tough,
So,
produce.
I do agree with Ken, and the offensive line kind of helps build the running back, but the Browns had one of the worst offensive lines in 2019, and Nick Chubb ran for 1,400 yards.
They had one of the worst pass blocking offensive lines ever. Their run blocking wasn't bad.
So my thing is why can't the Steelers have a good run?
I'd argue that
running
Najee Harris can make it a little easier on the line.
They had good. They changed their scheme. They weren't run blocking with their hand in the dirt. They were standing up like they were pass blocking and then trying to explode forward. You can't do that.
Well, I think that's because they were used to just throwing the ball 45
No, that
times.
was their scheme, and it just once Mike Munchak left. Once he left the Steelers as the offensive line coach, it went downhill quickly.
Yeah,
the
I
new
think
guy they have.
last 5 years has gone from 4 to 9
Yeah,
to 17 to 28 to 30.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of age, it's a little bit of scheme, it's a little bit of lot that happened. So, and they're not going to have. They drafted 3 guys. They got some good guys that are there, but there's no chemistry. It takes a while for them to
Luckily,
mesh,
this
so.
isn't last year,
Yeah.
and they actually have training camp and preseason. And
in Ben's point, he can make them better. They're trying to compare him to Le'Veon Bell. It's just not. No. So it's
Lev
going to.
was so patient. He
So
just
what's
made
your guys'
things happen.
best comparison for Najee Harris?
I when we did the thing, I had Edgerrin James, which that was my comp to him.
I think Bo had 2.
Yeah, it's on tape. If anyone looks it up.
Kind of like a more explosive Derrick Henry.
No, I hate the Derrick
I had
Henry
UGA
comp.
Todd Gurley as
Yeah. I think Todd Gurley's definitely a good comparison
I had
because Gurley came out being able to catch the ball pretty well.
my notes again. Of course, I'm just sitting here reading notes. The athleticism of Willis McGahee and the tough, hard nose, dirty hands, Fred Taylor type.
Yeah.
The
Fred
reason
Taylor
I-
definitely is a good
The
one.
reason I went with Derrick Henry is because of how many touches he got his last year of college. I mean, the guy can handle a workload. He can catch the ball. He does everything that Derrick Henry does, and he's younger.
If
So,
I can get Fred Taylor or Edgerrin James out of him, yeah. I mean, that's both of those
One's a
guys
Hall of
are
Famer and one is
should be.
arguably
One should be.
yeah.
Well, I think I know why those first round teams reached a little bit on ETN and Harris is because they get that 5th-year option.
Yeah.
So
That's exactly what the Chiefs did with
Yeah.
CEH.
Yep. So
that
if
was
Harris,
the main reason.
if Harris pans out, I mean, you get
You don't have to give him a contract.
you get him a 5th-year option. That's 10 million, 8 million.
He'll be
'Cause that's-
almost 30 on his 5th-year option, so he might.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So-
Literally.
That's almost the time, or that's almost always the
Yeah.
time that running backs stop panning out too, is whenever they sign that contract.
Yep. All right, let's move on. Where were we?
I think we're at Ben.
Oh, Ben, number 3.
My number 3, I hate to put in ones that are dependent on other positions. This one is dependent on their quarterback, but Nico Collins to the Texans at pick 89.
That was huge for him.
I think I like Nico Collins. Obviously, we all hate Michigan, but Nico Collins is a very talented receiver. Not the greatest route runner, decent catch radius. He's going to start in that Texans receiver core, and the only person he's really got to worry about taking targets from him is Brandon Cooks.
He's another example, just like Cornell Powell, that they don't have a receiver like him. So.
Yep.
Yeah, they've got
in the whole of Will Fuller. I know they're different receivers, but the whole of Will Fuller.
Yep.
That spot is.
yeah, those vacated targets
that's
are
a good
huge.
That's a good receiver to target, and
That's because QT's small.
yep.
I mean, Bop is small.
he's
Chad
a good
Hansen.
Sorry.
he's a good receiver to target.
But
You tried. I got it.
but I thought that's the one. I'm not high on Nico Collins. I'm not real high on Nico, but I think
I
that's the
wasn't
best.
either.
That's the best place for him to have a chance to
I
play.
think so too. I think I had him ranked like 10th or
If he
11th
would've
or
went to
something.
Detroit, I mean,
Yeah.
They're gonna be
There's
losing a
couple
lot of
places.
games, so they're gonna be throwing the ball a lot.
Yep.
All right. My number 3 is Juba Hubbard. I think he's not going to be fantasy relevant right off the get, but if CMH can't stay healthy,
who?
or what? Not CMH. I'm sorry, CMAC. You just said CMH, so that's if CMAC can't stay healthy, like last year, I think he's more of a C-Mac type than Mike Jones. So, or Mike, whatever his name is.
Mike
I'm all
Jones.
Just keep rolling, fuck it.
Yeah, I'm all jacked up. But
Mike Davis.
Yeah. I mean,
Mike Jones.
I mean, he can catch the ball. He can do everything. He's a poor man's C-Mac as far as I'm concerned. He's explosive. He's going to run routes.
He's Philip Lindsay to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the Panthers would love to have a Philip Lindsay behind.
Did you see
McCaffrey.
Did you see the recording of them calling him?
Mm-mm.
So, I can't think of the coach's name
For who?
for
Matt
Carolina. Matt Rule came from Baylor, so he Big 12 had the Big 12. He was at Baylor in 2019 when Juba Hubbard went for
lit him up.
9,000 yards.
I heard about his wife or something.
Literally, Matt Rule's wife called him or texted him and said, "Please take Juba Hubbard." And he's on the phone with Juba, and he was like, "So what she says goes. Welcome to the team."
Yep.
Did you see
He's
the?
like, wait, are you serious?
I don't remember if it was a lineman or who it was, but the Panthers drafted someone, and he was like, "Hey man, you ready to go?" And the guy that he called that he was drafting thought he was talking about like setting up a workout to be an undrafted free agent. He was like, "I'm trying, man," and he was like, "No, man, I'm drafting you." And he was like, "Oh, I'll walk my happy ass to Carolina right now."
Yeah, but I think that's going to end up being a good move for them. Gives them some good depth.
I mean,
He's now he's the number 2.
Yeah, they still got Bonifant.
Yeah, but
I mean,
Reggie, you're
you're out of there, bud.
I don't dislike Bonifant, but yeah.
yeah, I think he goes right in the number 2 spot. So that's my number 3.
It's a good take.
Pulled an Adam Gase.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Number 2.
So I'm gonna steal this before somebody else does. And you guys probably don't have him on there, but Terrace Marshall. I like him going to the Panthers. I don't think that he can be, wide receiver 2, maybe low end wide receiver 3, but I think the potential in dynasty leagues past this year is, it's pretty big. Because DJ Moore, they just picked up his 5th-year option this year, so he's got at least 2 more years. You don't really know what's going to happen with Robbie Anderson after this year, but
Robbie. So I like Robbie, Uncle Rob. But I was waiting for somebody to get that.
Mm-hmm.
He could have just been a product of Bridgewater. I like him, but he could have been.
He's the ultimate safety plug. I mean, he's running those 5-yard crosses on third and 3 or whatever. And then he runs one for 80 yards. I mean, he's a safety blanket. That's what he is.
So I do like Marshall, but I just want you guys to know that 3 of my top or bottom 5 have been said so far.
Yeah. So there's just a lot of mouths to feed in that offense. McCaffrey gets a big piece of that pie.
Yep.
And then you got DJ Moore. I like that they have all those weapons, but I didn't like that he went there.
Tommy Tremble was a beautiful pickup for them.
And he's going to turn into a blocker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
But can't catch if he needs to.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I keep forgetting that Trimble went to Carolina.
Yeah,
that's such a good fit.
I mean, I love Terrace Marshall. I would have loved to see him in like 25 other places in there.
Mm-hmm.
Just me personally.
I think the most ideal landing spot that we had all came to was the Ravens.
Yep.
For Marshall?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He just screams AFC North receiver.
And I love the Bateman slot there, but the last couple of years in all my teams, I've been loading up on Ravens offense, so
Yeah.
I'm going to struggle to take Bateman.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like Marshall. I think it's more of like a dynasty aspect than it is redraft. But if anything happens to like Robbie Anderson or something during the year, 6'4", can run a 4.39. I mean, it's pretty valuable in that offense. So.
And that's Curtis Samuel even showed. Like Curtis Samuel, they fed him pretty often. Like those vacated targets are going to go somewhere, and I would be willing to bet that it's not just going to be Robbie Anderson.
The only thing with that is C-Mac was hurt most of the year.
Yeah, that's true.
And it kind of gave Curtis Samuel more of a Swiss Army knife role.
He was the change of pace to Mike Davis.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. He run out of the backfield, catch those short slant routes, short underneath routes. So I think that really helped Curtis Samuel in finding another position in Washington. So, but then he goes back to the coach that drafted him.
Yep.
So I like the fit for Marshall.
One of the sleepers in the draft was De'Ami Brown going to Washington.
Oh, 100%.
That was a nice plug.
100%.
So my number 2 is Richie's going to look at it, kind of gassing him up a little bit, but I got Rondell Moore as my number 2. I love the fit there. I wasn't the highest on him coming in, but that offense with Nuke leading the helm, question marks in the backfield, they're going to find ways to use him that being just a slot receiver getting smashed over the middle is going to get avoided.
So bringing up Rhonda Moore, actually, I seen something on Twitter from one of the Browns guys that the Browns were looking at Moore in the second round.
I don't believe that.
And that's kind of why they drafted that guy in the 6th round in Felton, because he can kind of fill some of that role. More of like a running back, but really good at running routes. Now, Moore is more of like he's more of a bona fide receiver than he is a running back like Felton, but Moore could do some of that stuff out of the backfield.
No one asked about the Browns, bro.
I just like talking about him.
We're aware. No, but he's definitely, just based off that fit there, he's moved up my rookie receiver rankings. I also think the number one reason why he got drafted there is because Kyler's officially not the shortest dude on the team anymore.
I have this on my bottom 5, so I don't want to touch on it too much, but I do like the place. I like the landing spot for Rondelle Moore.
I mean, he's going to play what they wanted Christian Kirk to be. They're both minuscule guys.
Kirk's bigger than you think. How big do you think Kirk is?
He's quite a bit bigger than
Kirk's
Rondelle Moore.
5'8".
He's like 5'10".
Mm-hmm.
Christian Kirk is tiny.
He's like 5'10".
Christian Kirk is like 5'10", 180.
185.
I'm looking. He's on one of my teams.
Christian Kirk's like 5'8", 5'9".
5'11", 200.
False. This is 100%
No,
false.
he's
100%
He's
false.
always been
Christian
that.
Kirk is tiny.
He's not that tiny.
Yes, he is.
He's
5'11".
fast, so you'd think he's
No,
tiny.
he's tiny.
5'11".
He's way bigger than Rondelle Moore. Rondelle Moore is.
No, he's not.
He is.
No.
They're not making that up.
They just did.
Nope.
He's not that small.
Yes, he is.
So if you watch some game film, look at the cornerbacks that are covering him.
We'll see pictures of them standing next to each other soon.
Okay, we can do that.
And Rondelle might be taller than him.
You are absolutely nutbag.
Nutbag.
All right, who's number? What do you got? Number 2.
I was hoping to say another name here. We just touched on it, but Rashad Bateman. I think that team has been hurting for a number 2 receiver for a very long time, and Hollywood has reaped the downside of not having one long enough. So this helps Hollywood. It helps Lamar. It could open things
Hollywood
up for
might
JK.
Be gone.
Do you think Bateman's the number 1? Because you said number 2.
Yeah, I
Hollywood is now the
don't
number
think
3.
I don't think Bateman comes in and takes over the number 1 spot. There's knowing what you have in Hollywood. Yes, he's smaller, but you also haven't had a predominant person to come in and take attention away from him. Teams know what they need to cover.
I think Bateman is just the way he runs routes. I think that's perfect for Lamar Jackson. If them two can get on the same page, Bateman is that number 1 guy. Bateman is probably I think he can put up wide receiver 2 numbers with Lamar Jackson. And I know a lot of people doubt Lamar Jackson's arm, but if you have a guy that's good at running routes, because Hollywood has just been a go guy.
Yeah, but I don't disagree with what you're saying. I just don't think we've seen what we can get out of Hollywood from him on a team or from a fantasy standpoint. So I think them bringing in Bateman is going to show what Hollywood's really worth.
I'm going to wait for you because you look like you're chomping at the bit to say something.
They drafted Bateman and Tylan Wallace because they're giving up on Hollywood. That's how I'm looking at it.
How can you give up on a guy that you've had nobody else under?
Exactly. No one's been under him. No one's been over him. He's been their guy, and he's done what?
I think they've been through the ringer in receivers. They picked up Duvernay last year. Duvernay could do something. I mean, he's got the size, the catch radius, and they hardly played him. They picked up Prochet.
Duvernay's small, too.
Prochet is built exactly like Bateman, except he's a little bit shorter.
I mean, they went and picked up Des Bryant in the middle of the year because none of those guys were doing what they needed to do.
Duvernay's the same size as Christian Kirk.
5'10".
I'm looking this up now.
5'11".
Duvernay might be
5'7".
6 feet.
He's 5'10" or 5'11".
Duvernay's tall as hell.
He's like 5'8".
Are we taking bets?
Duvernay's at least 6
Here's
feet.
what I'm going to say about the Ravens.
Say it. Say it with your chest.
The scheme of their throwing game is at beginner level at best.
Ooh. 5'11", 210.
Yeah, they're at
He ain't that big.
they're at a beginning level at best when it comes to their passing game.
Yeah.
Hollywood thrives when he's scrambling around and not deciding to run. and they see him, he just flicks it to him running down the seam as he's scrambling.
How did Hollywood do as a rookie?
He's terrible.
Because his quarterback led the league in touchdown passes as a rookie, or when Hollywood was a rookie.
That's such a good point.
Andrews is the number one target, no matter who goes
100%.
there. No matter who goes there, I don't care
He
if it's
didn't have all
Bateman.
40 of his touchdowns. So.
I know. I'm just saying. Boykin's going to be out, but Boykin's the only guy that has size.
Well, you know I like Boykin is what you're...
Yeah.
No, you guys talked about Hollywood in year one. 14 games.
50 catches.
Position rank was 44 in standard, 46 in PPR. Now this league is
What were his
1
stats,
point
bro?
PPR. 71 targets, 46 catches,
Yeah, 50
584, and 7 touchdowns, which actually isn't bad. But
But that's kind of been his line all 3 years. It's been somewhere in that, or 2 year, whatever. It's been that,
he had 8 touchdowns this year.
yeah, but he had like 55 catches, something like that. It was somewhere in that same realm.
Pretty damn close, Ken.
Yeah. It was 55, 56. So,
He knows what he's talking about. He's not a casual.
I just traded him Hollywood Brown, so you should know.
I mean, I didn't look at his stats. I only took him because of
Stop lying.
Lamar. I only took him because I had Lamar. But
Like, let me look up his stats. He was wide receiver 72 this year.
I just know that
You said how was it? How did he do?
they have to
He said how did he do in year one?
listen. They have to up their game with their schemes and
Fantasy show,
passing.
asshole.
The only way any of those guys are going to be successful if they can step up their game in the passing attack.
I think he's
Yeah.
smaller than 5'9".
I agree.
So, I mean, I don't think any of those guys are going to thrive until they change their scheme up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned scheme specifically because I don't think Lamar's arm is the problem. It's
No, I just think
They drafted 2 tough dudes, and
we'll see. I mean, they're going to have to evolve. He's going to have to evolve as a quarterback.
58 catches, Ken.
Yeah, thank you. It's close.
so same season.
Yeah, I mean, he's going, and that's because of all the running. I mean, their running backs are, I mean, it's got to be 65-35 run to pass. I mean, it's got to be something in that vicinity, 60-40.
What do you think getting those 2 receivers does for Andrews, though?
It could free him up for sure.
So
I mean,
you help. Your instant
yeah.
reaction is help.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got a little bit of speed. You got good route running. He's going to be running. He's a seam killer. Mark Andrews is a seam killer.
He's got butterfingers.
Yeah, sometimes. But yeah, I think I'm not crazy about the Bateman, but
I
don't
love
hate
Bateman, but I just
I don't hate it either. I mean,
I just disagreed with your take as far as behind Hollywood.
well, that wasn't really specifically what I wanted my point to be. I
you said
think
it.
it's a good fit.
I think they're going to have similar seasons. Let me put it. I think Bateman and Hollywood are going to have similar stat lines this year. That's my prediction. All right, my number 2 is the nickname Thick Boy. Amari Rodgers is my
I
number
love
2.
that I've made that up.
Third round pick. Third round pick. I don't care who's. I mean, obviously, if Aaron Rodgers isn't the quarterback and Jordan Love is, this isn't going to be such a great thing.
I think it might.
I don't think so. I don't think.
Nothing's going to be better for him.
Yeah, I don't
but
think-
it's not going to hurt him as much as it would hurt. Nah, I don't know. I'll
Yeah,
take it back. I'll
Jordan Love is he didn't even get to wear a uniform for 15 weeks of the season, so I don't know how ready he is. So
next Pat Mahomes, bro.
God, I don't think, but I love the pick. I absolutely love the pick. I think he can clear. He's Randall Cobb with 30 extra pounds.
Yeah, that's what we were saying they needed too was a Randall Cobb.
He seemed like a decent route runner in college.
He's Curtis
too.
Samuel.
He was
with
kind of
it.
like Trevor
I'm saying he
Lawrence's security blanket.
Yeah, I like Rodgers a lot.
I see some jet sweeps. I see some pop passes. I see bubble screens. I see all kinds of stuff.
They liked having that second back, like Jamal Williams, and I just don't think that Dillon can be that receiving back out of the backfield. I think Rodgers helps in that aspect a little bit.
You won't say it to his face, though.
I think ultimately Rodgers allows Devontae Adams to have another one of those nutty number 1 seasons.
But I think he's an outlier. I think it doesn't. Again, I don't think it matters
He's an outlier.
how many other players are on the team.
That's why I shut up halfway through my statement because he's not going to hurt. He's not going to hurt.
Yeah, he's not gonna. He's gonna be open no matter what. All right.
Number 1.
So, like I said, I kind of switched a bunch of things up, and I kind of threw out an obvious guy because I think this can bring up a good discussion with the team. But I know Ken wasn't. I think a lot of us weren't really a fan of the pick, but the Bengals taking Jamar Chase. So, a lot of times people say that it's going to hurt the number one receiver that's on a team, but they lose I almost said Chad Johnson. They lose AJ Green, and that obviously frees up some targets. They still don't have a very good, viable tight end that can take some of those targets over the middle of the field. But I think this really helps T. Higgins as well, not have as many double teams or anything like that. So I like the fit. You know, it kind of them playing together in college, I think really helps with the transition. They got to make sure that they can keep Joe Burrow upright.
I don't think anyone hates the placement of Chase in that offense, but they just could have done better with the pick.
Yeah, that's
For the team.
wasn't a need.
I mean,
He's a phenomenal player.
Yep.
Him and Bernard, Jesus Christ,
Bernard.
him and Burrow are going to be a phenomenal connection, but
if
gotta protect
if
that quarterback.
Burrows is not upright and he's on the IR, Chase does nothing for fantasy. Higgins does nothing for. No, it's not going to be relevant though.
I mean,
You're not going to.
I like what they
It was
did.
shown last year.
Yeah.
I mean, they picked 2 offensive linemen back to back in the second and third rounds, and they went and grabbed Riley Reef, so that definitely helps. And so they got their 2 cornerstones on the right and left side. So their line's better. It's gonna be better next year. It's just what are they doing in the center of that line?
Do they have a generational tackle?
Nope.
They don't. They had a chance to get one. They had 2 out there that they could have got.
Yeah, 100%.
And they did not.
and they could have
They settled for.
they could have taken Tevin Jenkins in the second round too.
They missed. Yeah, they totally missed a boat on protecting, and it hurts Mixon. It hurts all of them.
Chris Evans.
And they did pick up Chris Evans. I saw a comment from, I don't know if it was from the coach. Who the hell is coach?
Zach Taylor.
Zach Taylor. I don't know if it was from Taylor or who it was from, but it was, we want Mixon to be on the field every single play.
Yeah. Oh, it was the offensive coordinator that said that.
How?
Yeah. It's
How?
It's just not. I think they blew it. I
They
love
could've.
Chase as a player.
love him.
Yeah.
I love Chase as a player. It has nothing to do with Chase. It has everything to do with
The Bengals.
the Bengals.
They could have went
Completely agree.
Sewell and Terrace Marshall.
Yeah, I mean they
had
could have done
different
a lot
options.
of things.
I mean,
I just
Sewell, Elijah Moore.
Nah, Moore got picked before.
Or they could have went Sewell and Tevin Jenkins and then picked up
They-
another receiver super late.
Yeah.
they went for the sexy pick instead of the.
Yep, that's what
They went-
exactly.
They went all Jerry Jones on this shit.
You know, shit.
They did. They turned Jerry Jones all
It
of a
was
sudden.
less surprising than the CD Lamb pick, though.
But I'm just saying that's kind of the thought.
But
And then the
CeeDee Lamb
Cowboys
fell
went
to,
out and had
19.
like the worst defensive year ever.
I feel like it was to sell tickets.
Yeah, that's literally when I walked
Yeah.
in on draft night. That's what I said. I said,
Yeah.
I mean,
They're chasing-
I know
they're
what I
chasing
think they
after
should
kids.
do, but
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. They're going to take
Yeah.
Chase, and they did.
All right.
My number 1 has already been said, but for, I guess, a little different reasons. I got Michael Carter as my number 1. You touched on you didn't know if he would maybe not play right away, and who the hell's going to play over him? Michael P. Ryan?
I mean, you just never know.
Same thing with Amon St. Brown. Opportunity.
Todd Gurley's still a free agent. Not that I'm saying they're going to pick him up, but
There's
you never
no
know.
reason why he doesn't become the starter day 1.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, I agree with you, but
Yep, he's gonna get a chance to prove himself. So we'll see if it's worth the fantasy draft capital once it's.
I have conflicting feelings about this.
You wish it was a better running back.
No. I have conflicting feelings about Michael Carter. One is I don't think he can handle 3 down back. But I also know that he didn't take the wear and tear in college that most running backs did. So it kind of
Can it be like an Antonio Gibson type?
he's little.
Because Gibson didn't
Yeah,
really
he is a
take the brunt. He had 77 touches in college.
Yeah, but he
then
played
Michael-
receiver.
Michael
He
Carter-
didn't take it from the backfield. His chances were he played the slot at Memphis most of the time.
Michael Carter is the size of Christian Kirk, and
I just don't see him being a 3 down back. I don't see.
don't laugh at my jokes.
I
I'm depressed. You need to.
know, but I just don't see Michael Carter being a 3 down back.
Yeah.
And that's just
That's what I said. We'll see if he's worth the draft capital.
I think he's one of the only other running backs that fell into a good opportunity as far as it could be the start. That's why I'm so conflicted on it. I want to say
There's 2 things that you don't back away from in a fantasy draft. You don't back away if you love a player and he lands in a shit spot,
right.
a la A.J. Brown. Two years ago, Tennessee was the worst spot in the world.
Mariota.
And look what happened. And you don't back away from opportunity. Your guys' same argument with James Conner going to Arizona. You won all of them because, again,
Who
I
else?
disagreed with the Chase Edmonds, but that's beside the point. I'm banking on your argument
Right.
that opportunity. opportunity.
Yeah, that's why I'm conflicted with this. I
He's a
would definitely
back-end
draft him.
rookie.
I would definitely draft him if he dropped to me in a draft. For
He's
sure.
a back end round 1 rookie draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just conflicted on it because I don't think he got enough run at North Carolina.
Small sample size.
How juiced would you have been if it was Juba Hubbard instead of Michael Carter?
Oh, for sure. I would have liked it better because he's an every down. He's a 3-down back. He's a proven 3-down back. So
Chuba's bigger than what people think.
yeah, he's bigger than Carter for sure. I mean,
Carter's
that's
like 5'8", I think.
yeah, he's
5'9".
Yeah, but he's 199.
So
He's got a
5'6"
little bit of weight. He's 200 pounds. He's got a little weight to him, but
I think he's 5'9", 190.
he last thing I saw was 199. He kind of reminds me a little bit of LT as far as size wise. Not as big.
I see.
Coming
I
out
see
of
where you're
college,
coming.
coming out of college, he kind of plays that way. So
My phone's gonna die.
but yeah, I do like it. So I'm not disagreeing with. I'm just conflicted as hell.
Yeah, just based off that, like I said, opportunity. I want all of it.
I agree.
I want all of it on my roster. I'll take the miss if he misses, but I'm getting that hit if he hits.
I think that's what you look at when you're drafting at the spot that he falls to.
Low risk, high reward.
That's
110.
That's worth taking a draft pick for.
Yeah, low risk, high reward. Definitely, I agree with that.
Like I got 1-6 in my one rookie draft, and he's 100% in what's the word?
Contention.
Yep.
That word.
Yep. All right, Ben, what do you got? Number one.
My number one pains me to say so badly, but like we were just talking about, opportunity is going to be there.
Najee.
No, Devontae Smith.
Oh.
As much as we didn't really get to see a whole lot of Jalen Hurts and the throwing and what he can do with the team being
saw
the
enough.
sole guy, I disagree.
Jamie Newman season.
I don't hate Jalen Hurts.
That 52% completion percentage is absolutely horrendous.
On that team, though, that team
care who it
doesn't
is.
know their ass from a hole in the ground. How was he supposed to figure it out?
Yeah, their offensive line was really bad.
Okay.
And it still is.
Even in college, he didn't have a high
And again, with the opportunity, you look at all the receivers that they have. I mean,
I see what you
outside
like.
of Jalen
I see what you
Reagor.
like about it.
Yeah,
I like Smith going there more than I did Waddle for sure.
I want no part of this offense.
Do you guys just we can cut it if it's foreshadowing, but do you guys have Gainwell in your bottom 5?
No.
No,
My number one bottom 5 has already been said.
If
Oh,
you,
wow,
if you do,
really?
we won't talk about it. But if we did, I wanted to talk about it while we're talking about Devontae Smith.
Yeah, I just don't want any part of that offense in general.
Okay.
Not with Hurts. Not with Hurts being the quarterback. I mean, he's going to be good at fantasy, but it's going to be with his legs. It's not going to be with his
Don't
arm.
talk too much.
I know.
When
But
they
that's
traded up,
that's my opinion.
when they traded up to 10, I thought for a second that they could take Fields.
I thought it was
Yep.
too.
Yep.
My initial thought was, oh shit, they're taking a quarterback.
No, I agree. And I thought they should have.
But it came out that the Giants wanted they were taking Smith at 11.
Yep.
So
Okay. My number one's Davis Mills. I know that's
Is that the Buccaneers?
opportunity.
Opportunity.
No, Houston.
they already said that there's a good chance Deshaun Watson's not playing.
All right, let's play this game. Who am I? What is going on? What is going on? What? I need you guys to tell me what is going on.
he literally did it.
It's Rich Eisen, if you guys didn't know. He was mind blown.
Yeah, I think when we were doing our quarterbacks, I think a lot of us had him like 6'7", but what we all said was he's just consistent. He's solid. He's not flashy. Makes all the good throws. He's accurate.
I like him the most of
Game
the bottom
manager.
3 for sure.
Game manager. He's smart. Went to Stanford. I don't like
I got a better
Taylor's chances of beating him out.
I got a better score on my Wonderlic than C-Mac did, by the way. So.
Anyway, I just think
I forgot to talk about that.
I know. I don't want to talk about it. I don't.
Oof.
I like his chance of beating out Tyrod Taylor.
Like instantly.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I do. I like opportunity,
it's not a
especially
hot take, but that's a hot take.
especially if Deshaun is definitely out for at least 1 year.
I gotta find it. We haven't used this drop yet.
No, go ahead. I'll keep talking.
I have to find no idea because we've never used it. I have no idea.
I don't even know which
It's
one
towards
you're
the
looking
end,
for.
I think.
I don't think it is.
But yeah, I think he could come in and
Where did Ellinger end up getting drafted?
go ahead.
Colts.
Yep, Colts.
Burn my tongue. Don't even care.
That's a hot take. Anyway, I just
Ellinger's
think
beating out Carson Wentz.
Burn my tongue. Don't even care.
no, I like this. I think it gives. He landed in the best spot.
Kyle
Other
Trask
than-
beating out Tom Brady.
Burn my tongue. Don't even care.
Kyle Trask was definitely an honorable mention as far as for dynasty. 'Cause-
Sitting behind Tom Brady on top of all that.
Yep.
I just think it's looking like Tom Brady's got another half decade in him.
Yeah,
So,
Kyle Trask though is a Bruce Arians
yeah.
love
Quarterback. Oh, yeah.
Yes,
He's kind
absolutely.
of Carson Palmer-ish.
Ben, that's Bruce Arians was Ben's guy.
Dude, I forget all the time that he was with the Steelers.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
so yeah,
I got the same score on my window test as Carson Palmer.
Congratulations.
That makes it feel like it's so
Asshole.
much smaller than it was.
Okay, Cam Newton.
I got the same as Ray Lewis.
Yeah, I got Jadeveon Clowney.
Genius.
Obviously, I can't remember people's. I have a little CTE going on. Anyway, but yeah, that I think Davis Mills is gonna
I like
surprise
that
some
pick.
people.
I like that pick.
All right,
I stayed away from quarterbacks, but I like that pick.
all right, guys. We're gonna transition to our top 5 disappointing picks for fantasy. Sounds like a lot of these have been said, but let's go ahead and start this.
It's okay. That's good that you guys say top 5 and I say, or just for example, you guys say top 5, I say bottom 5. That's good podcast.
Bottom 5.
Let's hear the remix.
Oh, it's huge. Top, bottom 5.
All right, Richie. What's your number 5?
Number 5.
My number 5 is Davis Mills.
Oh, speaking.
I understand, coming into opportunity, especially in Houston, but I don't know if he is exactly ready to take a starting job. And for fantasy wise, I don't think he offers as much potential. And I know Tyrod Taylor coming in, it's always a certain that a rookie takes over for Tyrod Taylor for the last
Keep talking,
4 or 5 years, but I don't know if I really like the fit because I feel like it'd been better for him to kind of learn behind a good veteran that could teach him some of the ins and outs. But
So where do you think he could have went that would have made him a good pick for fantasy?
Tampa Bay,
The Saints.
But how does that help
Yeah, I
in
think the
fantasy
Saints.
though?
Potentially Chicago, if Chicago.
I know, but how does that make him viable for fantasy if he goes to those places?
I'm not saying for not saying for this year specifically, but I'm saying in years to come he could have sat behind a guy that.
In years to come, there's not a better spot to go for a quarterback than Houston.
No, I understand, but I just
It's
don't
the
like.
biggest question mark there is.
He's gonna have opportunity. I just don't like him. For
I don't like
fantasy.
him. He's a jerk.
I just don't like him for fantasy wise.
Are you okay?
I'm good.
Okay. My number 5 is your boy, Elijah Moore. First off, I wanted him so bad. It's just not fair.
Oh, okay.
That's it on that one.
No, I mean, just like you said, there might be a few too many hands there. If Crowder moves, because I know Crowder's a target hog. If Crowder moves, if they move on from him, he slides into my top 5. That's how
Yep.
borderline it is for me. Just because sorry, Dad, I fucking love him.
I was with Bo,
But
when the
I
Jets
was
took Moore,
so disappointed.
and he literally just sat back in his seat like, oh fuck.
If Crowder moves, he's on my year 1 train. But I'm off the train right now. Just there's too many hands.
Strictly because of Crowder.
Which is I mean, stupid, but yeah.
No, I get it. I agree.
What is wrong with you?
What do you mean? I'm trying not to look around so I don't move away from my mic, so I'm looking at you guys on the camera.
It's your turn, buddy.
I know. My number 5, it's a toss-up between this and what I'm going to say for number 4, but it's just strictly going to be because it's a bad pick, bad fit. I don't like it. Kadarius Toney at 20 was absolutely absurd.
Yeah, that was a big oof.
He's in my bottom 5.
Whether or not he could produce, who fucking knows?
Ken Love.
On top of that, it hurts Kenny G.
They're different.
It hurts Saquon. it hurts Evan Ingram, and it's not even for a good cause. You
I don't
know,
know
like
who
with
the
all
hell
the
Evan
receivers that were still there, just not a good take.
Evan Ingram hurts Evan Ingram.
He really does.
The grass hurts
So
Evan Ingram.
he's also my bottom 5. I didn't like it because I feel like they could have gone a different receiver.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been better for them. But my only thing is nobody is saying that Jamar Chase hurts T. Higgins.
I
Or
am.
Jamar Chase
That's my
hurts
number one
Joe Mixon.
bad beat.
But you think that Jamar Chase is going to help them, even though he's taking away some kind of targets.
I think it hurts him.
But I think
Who have you said that? Who have you heard say that Chase was a good pick for Bengals?
no, I'm saying fantasy wise. I'm not saying
He's saying
it should have been Sewell.
good for the people around him.
Yeah, it should have been Sewell, obviously. But I'm just saying for the fantasy aspect of it, it opens things up for Higgins.
So you're saying, why are you saying that opens things up for Higgins,
But it doesn't.
Tony doesn't open up
Yes.
for KG? I don't. I
Like I
again,
said,
I kind of disagree with that. I don't like the Tony pick, but it's just I don't like Tony.
You three didn't like him. I liked him, so
Yeah.
I like the pick.
in order for that to be a valid
I think
argument.
it helps KG.
So, for example, like you're saying,
It hurts.
It helps them.
mediocre play Slay now.
you look at somebody like Jamar Chase, which line aside, they should have went with a tackle. That obviously that's going to hurt him. Throw that out the window for now. Jamar Chase is a talent that could take away defenses to him. He could help his teammates. Kadarius Toney is not that. He cannot help a team in that way.
I mean, with
If
that
he's not-
speed, do you think they don't take away a safety?
If he's not drawn,
Not
away
like
defenders,
Jamar
then
Chase
it's gonna be
can.
wide open.
To me, if you're going to draft a receiver to help out your team, it's got to be somebody that can pull attention, regardless of how fast they can run down the sideline.
Maybe that wasn't the point. Maybe they liked him as a receiver. I mean, you heard Urban say that if he was there for him at 2-1, he was taking him, and
He was taking him at 25.
He used the word heartbreak that Tony wasn't there for him.
Yeah, he was taking Tony at 25.
So
not
I think
18.
these guys love Tony as a receiver, not a
So
decoy.
maybe if you
not
were
a,
like-
not a Mecole Hardman decoy.
He was my number 5 for a reason. I think he's a game changer.
I could be completely wrong. It's
You guys
just
are kind
my
of
opinion.
talking me. You guys are talking me out of Tony being.
I feel
in
the
my
same
bottom
as you.
five.
As not a fan of him, but I don't agree with you that it hurts KG. I think it helps KG. The way that
That's
KG
a lot of speed.
Tony is all over the field. KG is a home run hitter.
Yeah. I just think he's so shifty. You just change it. You have to tackle that dude.
Yeah.
You have to make
ASAP.
sure you tackle that dude.
You're hitting him within
right
5
away.
yards.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
he's going to be a yak machine, yards after catch. He is. They're going to double.
He's also got Danny Penny's thrown to him though, so he's cute though.
All right.
Yeah, Kadarius Toney has 2 first names.
Yeah.
Making good time with this one. Keep it going.
My number 5 is Javonte Williams. I do not like him going to Denver.
I'd agree.
I said it out in our group chat, and Richie right away is like, "What do you mean?" I think
course I did.
the top 3 running backs.
I'm looking more at dynasty. I mean, Gordon's got
but-
1 year left. That's going to be
Top-
Williams backfield.
Top 3 running backs should have instant impact.
This time next year, so I have him as my number 4. So I'll go ahead and just talk about it now. This time next year, everyone will want a piece of Williams.
Yeah, that was
But
also my
this
number
time
4.
this year,
No. Instant impact
sucks,
is gone.
dude. It absolutely sucks.
He has no. Everybody was counting on in their fantasy drafts that these 3 running backs would have instant
The fact that
impact, and they don't.
Like that, I agree. That I agree. I'm just saying.
That's what my point was
I
in the
will take
text.
Williams to sit on him for a year. Like I will do that. I mean,
the fact that we
because-
have to wait a year pisses me off.
Yes.
Yes.
We could have had
That's why he's my number
Jets,
5.
Dolphins, Falcons, Cardinals, Bills,
And
Texans,
a lot of them didn't
Steelers.
draft a running back.
All these teams.
Yep.
I was
We
very
gotta
surprised the
wait.
Falcons
But you know
didn't
what?
draft
Do you
him.
think that those teams are waiting because they know there's a lot more running backs coming out next year?
No, if a stud's there for you, take a stud.
Yeah. Next year is next year. It does no good now.
If you're not going to play this dude till next year, you might as well wait it till next year.
That's how I feel.
Not that I think Melvin is better than him at all, but
You paid Melvin Gordon a lot of money to be the running back of Denver Broncos.
I mean, they didn't.
he's good enough
re-sign
to let
Lindsey.
Williams learn behind him at least.
What's that?
I mean, that's why they didn't resign Lindsey because they trust Melvin Gordon enough. But then they go draft a running back.
You can go ahead and cut Mike Boone, by the way.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. Oh,
I'm just saying. I wanted Javonte Williams to have instant fantasy impact.
That is the reason.
Yes.
That's exactly why he's on my disappointing list. Not because I don't like Javonte Williams.
Pisses me off that I got to wait.
Yeah. now you have to say, do I want to draft this receiver instead of Javonte Williams, whatever in your fantasy draft? Do you want to sit on him? I mean, Melvin Gordon could get hurt.
I traded him in that Hooper trade.
Melvin Gordon could get hurt.
Matt, go ahead and cut Mike Boone.
But I'm just saying.
Sorry, Matt.
It does give Denver
Denver
depth. It does give them depth. But
Yeah.
Keeping Lindsey would have cut him.
yes,
Yep.
that's my point. He's still cheaper than Lindsey, so I can see why they did it. But I just don't like it fantasy wise.
So knowing Lindsey had a role, where are you taking him in redraft? Not Lindsey, Williams. Where are you taking him in redraft?
Probably fourth or fifth round, maybe sixth round.
I was thinking later than that.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to gamble,
Best ball, he might be a stud.
definitely best ball for sure.
But redraft,
Redraft, I'm
He's
probably
probably
8,
8th to
9.
10th.
you see me dropping best ball like I've been doing research.
Yeah, best ball. He's James Conner's another one that I meant to say. Best ball would be a baseball stud.
Chase had
Yeah.
was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I that's why he's my number 5, just because of instant.
And he's my number 4 for the same same exact reason.
Okay.
Oh, me?
Number 4.
So I had Tony on my list, so I'll just kind of, go with Tony here. But
Talk about him.
yeah, I mean, so you guys kind of like almost talked me out of having Tony on my bottom 5 because I do like how he can open things up for Galladay, for Ingram, coming across the middle of the field, and just a game changer. And I think it helps Barkley too. And I think Ben is hating it, but
I think you guys mistook what I said. I'm not saying
He's not a Tony fan. Period.
No, I don't even.
And he's not worthy of 20th pick.
yes,
is what you're
that's
saying.
why he was on my bottom 5.
I think he's not worthy of the 20th pick.
Yes.
But my biggest thing is I'm not saying he makes Kenny Galladay worse, makes Saquon worse. I'm saying we're talking strictly fantasy aspect of this.
because you
He
have that
takes
guy.
away from Kenny Galladay. Takes away from Saquon.
I think Saquon takes away from everybody.
Yeah.
coming
100%.
back. I think it's the other way around. When Saquon comes
Same thing
back,
with C-Mac.
yeah, when he comes back, the other guys become a little less relevant.
Well,
So
then
I think that's kind of the
Yeah,
kinda
because even
crazy.
if you like that guy, you're not going to see everything that he has because you have KG.
Right.
Saquon's coming back.
I mean, I think Sterling Shepard goes back into the slot role, which I think is where he's best at.
Could you see Kadarius
Sterling
Toney
Shepard might get moved on from.
having
very possible.
He should be.
having the role of someone like Victor Cruz when he had those 3 years that were
I could. I definitely could.
He's that kind of player.
That's going to depend on Danny Pennies, though.
Oh yeah, he's definitely that kind of
Oh,
player.
he's definitely being referred to as Danny Pennies now on this show.
And if he gets a little better, we'll go to Danny Nichols.
Danny Nichols.
But I could see a
And then Danny, Nickel, and a penny.
Yeah, he can't go straight to Danny Dimes after 2 upgrades. No way.
so. But I get it.
Yeah.
I didn't mistake your take. I just went with it in a different direction. So
All right, we got number 4.
Javonte.
We already know his 4.
Here's Javonte. What do you got,
That
Ben?
was also my 4. But I will change it just for the sake of something to talk about. I'm going to say Rondelle Moore to the Cardinals. It's kind of the same reason. You still have DeAndre Hopkins, who should still be fantasy relevant after that take, but Rondelle Moore's going to come in. He's going to have snaps. He's going to get targets. James Conner coming in. It's almost the same thing as what we just talked about. But it is a good landing spot for him. I do like the player, but for fantasy, I don't.
Okay. Anybody else?
We already talked about him. He was my number 2. Like,
Yeah.
go ahead, Doug.
Kenneth Gainwell, my number 4. I hate that he went to Philadelphia. I just don't like it. Even if they make him a receiver or a slot
He
or
fell like a zombie.
Yeah, he did.
So thinking about it, because I know Sirianni comes over from the Colts. Do you think they use him as like a Naheem Hines type player?
they have.
Because
I mean, that's
Boston
his
Scott
only
is
chance.
Hines,
Yeah,
I mean.
that's the only.
But I mean, how long does Boston Scott have? Like maybe a year left?
I have no idea.
Boston Scott slept on. I think he's good.
Yeah,
I was just saying, like maybe they look at him as like a Hines type player
I would
out of the backfield.
personally. I'd rather see Gainwell in Arizona than Rondell Moore.
I agree. 100%.
So, I hate the Rondell Moore. I hate him as a player. Period. So
Tell us how you really feel, Cam.
Don't say it to his face. Oh wait,
no,
you got to slouch down.
as I don't mind the offense that he's going into. I mean, AJ Green is not going to help you. I think you needed a receiver that has some size and speed on the outside. I just don't. I just don't see it.
So 26-year-old AJ Green.
Yeah. Anything.
I mean, again, it's the argument of being on the field, but
Yeah.
when he was on the field, he still
good.
looked
Not
like
bad.
AJ
Yeah.
Green.
Mhm. But I just, he's not your future. If you're going to draft for your future, Rondell Moore is not your future. You got a bunch of they're going to all come out in a clown car. Him and Kyler Murray are going to jump out, run around it 3 times, and
You almost said the M word.
the what?
You almost said the M word.
What word is that?
Midget.
It's little people. It's little people. No, I'm just saying. I just don't.
And
like
you guys
it.
know I loved me some KG, and that kind of pissed me off too.
Yeah, but
I think he's going to turn more into a receiver than he's going to turn into Curtis Samuel.
I just don't like him
Or
in that system.
Style.
Yeah, I don't like him in that system at all. That's just. It was another one that's not going to have instant impact.
That may not. It may not happen at all.
Yep.
Sucks.
All right.
2, 3.
Yep.
Too many goddamn buttons today.
So my number 3 is Hunter Long, going to the Dolphins. So they have Gesicki, and I thought Hunter Long could be more of a receiving option, but I think they brought him in to literally just be the number 2, to be able a good blocker, and let Gesicki go to the outside of the line and keep Hunter on the inside of the line. So I thought that he could actually go to a team that needs a tight end. That could be a viable option. But I think this is more just added depth to a tight end position, and him being a better blocker.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but I don't think it would. He would have been on my list if it would have been top 10, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's insignificant to me. I think he's going to score touchdowns in Miami. He's going to be a red zone
I
because
think Hunter Long will.
yeah.
Over Gesicki.
I think it helps Gesicki.
Look at their stats
That's
last
what I'm
year.
saying. It helps Gesicki in the sense
They
Gesicki
had-
is less of a blocker.
They had
Yes.
3 tight ends last year, and they all scored 3 or more touchdowns.
and 2 was a beast.
So yeah, so I yeah. Anyway, piece of crap.
I said it on purpose while you were talking.
But yeah, I think he's going to be a red zone, and a stick mover. That's what he did in college. I mean, he's a
I'm just saying I thought he could be more.
yeah. He could have went to a better fantasy relevant
Maybe
team
like the
for him.
Chargers. Like I feel like the Chargers would have been a good fit.
Yep,
You like him over
McKitty.
I like McKitty athletically, but I'm saying
Wrong guy.
Hunter Long going there would have had more of an opportunity to be a tight end 1. You know, the guy, not tight end 1 in fantasy, but
He's
on
kind
the
of
team.
he's kind of the guy I wanted in Tennessee.
He's a do-it-all guy. I definitely worthy of a disappointing pick, but it didn't crack my top 5.
Yeah, me neither. Hey girl, what's up, girl?
Ken's telling her to be quiet, and Bo says hi.
Pop up on camera. Pop up on camera. Come on.
Our voiceover queen is in the building.
Come into the mic and say, "Hey, Daddy Jangle."
Oh, she's going to do it.
Hey, Daddy Jangle.
Oh, my God.
Love you.
See ya.
My mom.
My number 3 is Terrace Marshall.
Compose yourself.
My number 3 is Terrace Marshall. You guys know I'm a massive DJ Moore homer. It just,
Yep. I feel your pain.
I mean, Robbie came in last year and had a killer year, and DJ Moore still produced, at least decently. I know.
Was he like a wide receiver 2 or no? He was 24, 25?
Who? Robbie Anderson?
No, DJ. I think he was right behind Curtis Samuel.
Yeah.
He had a really good year.
Curtis
still.
Samuel was 24. DJ was 25.
But I think Bridgewater didn't play very well last year.
Plus, CMC wasn't there. A lot of factors go into it.
Yeah, and CMC comes back. I know they lost Samuel, but Marshall and Samuel aren't the same player.
Not at all.
If DJ Moore and Robbie, again, I know we brought up Robbie, that could be a Teddy Bridgewater underliner. If DJ Moore and Robbie still get theirs, what's left for Marshall with CMC coming back?
Yeah.
I agree.
Kills
Fair
it for
points.
me. No, you had him in your top 5. No, you had him in your top 5.
I didn't have.
It was more
hate
past.
it.
I think it was more past this year.
And because I have DJ Moore everywhere in all my leagues,
Don't-
I'm not going to end up with any team.
The only reason I didn't put him on, I'd be disappointed because he is a good player. I don't know. I'm gonna
He was
let
my
the
number
jury.
3,
I'm gonna
man.
let the jury be out still on
Let
it.
it play out.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with, but because I have DJ Moore everywhere, I'm just not going to have any Terry.
Yeah, fair enough.
Sucks.
My number 3 is Justin Fields to the Bears. And it's so hard because it's very rarely do I ever care for a quarterback coming out of college. And Justin Fields was just it. And to see him go to a team that drives every quarterback that plays for them into the ground is just so disappointing. I'm not saying he can't come out and produce, but the odds of that are very, very, very slim.
I absolutely hate it too.
I want Justin Fields.
I want you to
everybody.
have him. I want you to have him.
Yeah.
No, I will take Justin Fields for sure.
My number 3 is Trey Sermon.
Just because of what he takes away from her, you don't like him?
I don't see him getting on the field until injury. He's Jared McKinnon.
Yeah. Okay. And
who signed with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So
that could have been news.
Yeah, but I just don't. And they took Elijah Mitchell.
The Chiefs did?
No, the 49ers.
Oh, yeah. I didn't
so
know.
now they have
senior time.
I mean, how's he getting on the field? I don't even know if he's better than Elijah Mitchell.
Well, Mustard gets hurt every other play.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I mean, I understand
he runs a
injuries
4.19 down the sideline and tears his ACL.
I understand the injury angle. It's not necessarily going to happen every year. Maybe last year was a fluke year.
Which
maybe
is crazy because injuries last year were at a low for the NFL.
So maybe Mustard doesn't get hurt. Maybe I just
even if he doesn't, he's 29.
Yeah, I just don't see Trey Sermon getting on
Mustard's already playing catch up.
Yeah. Wow. Popsicle stick humor. But I just don't like him on this.
Or Mustard's got
every
Sermon playing catch up. I know, relish that, bro.
Oh my god. But anyway, I just don't like. I like the running system. I like the running system, but I don't like him there.
Oh, we're at 112.
I agree
at all.
Yeah, I know. Time is.
Is that it?
Number 2.
Deucer?
Number 2.
So Ken kind of ruined it for me, but my number 2 is Elijah Mitchell. I feel like he could have gone to a better situation that would have given him more of an opportunity.
So basically, you have Kenneth Gainwell at number 2.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he could have gone somewhere with a more opportunity. Him going to a smaller school, I think a little bit maybe have hurt him a little bit. But
Cajuns, bro.
I thought he could have gone somewhere better, but
He was a 7th round or 6th round draft pick. I mean,
I thought he would have been higher.
My number 2 is Jamar Jefferson.
So
Richie's like, fuck you guys.
My number 2 is James Robinson.
hold on. I see you working.
What's your number 2? My number 2 is Juba Hubbard. I don't hate the spot for his production, for his development. Or I don't hate it for his development. I hate it for his production. We're never going to be able to see what he could be. He'll never be the guy. Ever.
Damn.
Caps his fantasy value 11-fold.
R.I.P.
You need to keep going?
Go ahead.
Like I said, my number 2 is James Robinson. Even Travis Etienne.
When did he get drafted?
Excuse me?
When did he get drafted?
James Robinson?
Yeah.
He didn't.
it's a draft show.
I know I'm trolling. Travis Etienne going to the Jags.
I'm just being a dick.
I don't like it for either one of them. I like it for the team. You know, obviously draft capital trumps, and it shows. And I think having 2 outstanding shotgun running backs is really going to help your system. But for fantasy, it's awful. James Robinson, I think, Ken, you've mentioned a few times that James Robinson will probably be the 1st and 2nd down back. ETN will come in, probably catch passes on 3rd down. But
it's what Urban Meyer said. I was just reiterating what he said.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as they draft him, he said he's going to be our 3rd down back right off the get.
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't want any part of that in fantasy. So
he was
my trade bow.
He was my
please.
number 1. So I'll touch on him a little bit when we get to
He's your number 1.
Yeah.
Okay. My number 2 is Tutu Atwell. I don't know what the hell the Rams are thinking.
You don't even got
That was out of left field.
Yeah.
5'7", 745 pounds, and that was their first pick of the draft, which is second round. I
Was
mean,
it like 57 or something?
Yeah.
they drafted him. Bo, what did you say? They drafted him before Terrace Marshall?
It was 57.
Yeah.
And guess who got picked right before Tutu? Dwayne Eskridge.
Dwayne Eskridge.
Yeah.
Both of them back to back, and then 2 picks before Terrace
I
Marshall.
mean, what are the Rams thinking?
Terrace Marshall was the 10th receiver off the board. I don't understand.
Yeah,
This the Seahawks. This makes up for taking DK Metcalf in the second round.
And then they just stole every undrafted receiver.
Yeah, I mean
We're talking about.
the Ram. I mean what did the Rams think? I know they got 2 good
That was
receivers.
their first pick of the draft.
Yes,
too.
and they totally screwed the pooch on
I
that
just
one.
sent you a counter, Ben.
So, Tutu Atwell, he didn't even make my top 20 receivers. I did my, so I have no idea what they were thinking. I think they drafted him just to be a return guy. I think he's going to be a punt and kickoff returner. That's just my opinion. All right.
And that's fine, but as a second round pick,
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, no chance.
So like I said, my number one's ETN. You would think that he'd go somewhere that he'd be given an opportunity or a chance to be a 3-down guy, but going to Jacksonville, kind of like what Ken said. I mean, Urban Meyer came out and said that he's going to be the 3rd down back. So I mean, it spells Robinson and being healthier, but I thought he had more of an opportunity.
Okay.
We have trades going on if people are watching. And
Bo always trolls me in trades.
was a
Sends me
stupid
2 counters that he knows I'm going to re-counter with, and it gets to a point where I'm like, all right, man.
that was a very bad counter. Can you guys guess my number one?
McMath.
He's part of it.
The whole
The whole Titans draft.
I just don't get it, man. Pass after pass after pass on the position as a whole. And then they traded up in the 4th, and I got juiced. I'm like, ooh, they about to take a dude. And I saw the WR come up on the board.
Des Fitzpatrick.
Who the hell is Des Fitzpatrick?
He rolled with Tutu Atwell at Louisville.
He was probably better than him.
For your sake, he better be.
I don't get it.
There, ladies and gentlemen, is a beaten man.
They passed. They passed on all that day 2 talent, dude.
Yep. And there was tons
And then
of it.
they chose this dude over Amon-Ra, Tylen, anybody else. And don't get me started on what's his name?
Racy
I don't even
McMath.
know the dude's name.
Racy McMath.
Racy McMath. 32 games in his college career. He has 33 catches. Mm-hmm. He averaged in his college career 15 more yards a game than I did.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Let me bring this back. So maybe Racy McMath is a victim of the people that he was playing. Or maybe he's a really good receiver that didn't get to play with Chase.
Didn't play this year.
He's beat. I'm sorry, Bo.
No, I'm just saying. You had Jefferson.
He wasn't there this year.
I understand. Just saying. He's been there for how many years? 3 years?
I've never heard of dude in my life, so I don't know.
I mean, Terrace Marshall. I mean, he's had a lot of receivers. Maybe he's better than what he...
McMath.
I know.
McMathematics.
Okay. He's got a funny name. Maybe he can catch the ball and run afterwards. Give him a chance.
I have to. I don't have a choice.
Talking you off the ledge.
I'm already there.
Okay.
My number one is Jalen Waddle. Or, I'm sorry, not Jalen Waddle. Jamar Chase.
I don't get it, man. I was fine all episode.
Yeah. Depression. Anybody got any Zoloft?
How about the Browns draft?
Prozac?
I already forget both of their names. And we just talked about
Racy McMath and Des Fitzpatrick. I got them locked in because I'm going to hit you in the face with them every chance I get.
Did they take a tight end?
No, they didn't.
Anthony Ferkser. All right.
Yeah, my number one was Jamar Chase, but we already touched on it.
You know what just doesn't make sense to me?
I was done talking. Jokes on you, bitch.
All I know is all last week I kept hearing, John McDonald's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing.
His name's John Robinson, but we're gonna call him John McDonald from now on. Is that boy a clown?
Just call him John McDonald.
Yep. On purpose. All right.
Oh, that's awesome.
You good?
Go ahead, Ben. I'm sorry.
He already said Jamar Chase.
I like that guy.
Please tell me it's Dre Fitzpatrick.
No.
Or Dez, I'm sorry.
No. It's Justin Fields, number 1.
Yeah.
The Chicago Bears are my least favorite.
Fucking love it.
It's my least favorite.
God, I hate it so much.
Least favorite team to watch on TV. They are the worst watch ever.
They own some of my favorite players too, so it sucks so much.
So is the Browns for 20 years.
They still are. They suck. Anyway, so the Fields pick just really anybody else but the Bears.
Would it have changed your mind if you went to the Redskins? The Washington football team? Would you feel much worse about it?
No, I feel 100 times better. Anywhere but the Bears. Anywhere.
Duh, Bears.
I'm worried
Anywhere but the Bears.
I'm worried about a Dwayne Haskins repeat if he goes to Washington.
Well, he's not going to Washington. He's going to Chicago.
You might have a Dwayne Haskins repeat at Chicago.
It'll be worse than that, I think.
I just don't see it.
I know.
And I want to be an Ohio State homer so bad.
Me too.
Especially for him of all people.
Richie's over there like chomping at the bit. I want to know why Richie thinks that he's going to be successful in Chicago.
He doesn't have to be successful as long as he's good in fantasy. I mean,
To be good in fantasy, it has to be successful.
Yes.
Jalen Hurts? Isn't that your argument on Jalen Hurts?
No.
Man, he's going to be really good at fantasy, but he can't complete a pass.
Yeah, but if he's not successful for an extended amount of time, he's going to be out of a job.
He's going to have at least 3 years to prove himself.
Okay. I don't agree with that, but
Well, you said that
They
They literally gave Trubisky 4 years.
They drafted him and gave up a pick next
how
year.
did they give Trubisky
to come
4
in and be
years?
the guy?
They replaced him in the middle of it with Nick Foles.
Who
then
is
they-
still on the roster, by the way.
Yeah.
And then they replaced him back with Trubisky.
Yeah, but they didn't believe in him right there.
Okay. I'll take Fields all day.
I mean,
I
you're
won't.
not going to get him, but
I'm not going to.
I wouldn't touch Fields with a 20-foot pole right now
I'd
in a
touch him
draft.
with a 1 foot pole.
You take Fields at the 101.
I wouldn't know.
Okay,
I
well
still
then-
want Lawrence, but Fields is probably 102.
If Fields went to Denver, I'd take him with the 101.
Yeah, I definitely.
Fields wants
yeah.
Chicago. Where are you taking him?
I'm not.
Okay, so
You're telling me you got 2-1. You ain't
I'm
taking
not
I'd
taking
still
Fields.
draft him. It just wouldn't be in the first round.
I would draft him and trade him. I wouldn't take him. I have too much experience with Chicago to trust anybody
Jay
that
Cutler
plays.
was a god.
He
Rex Grossman
compared
went
to
the Super
what?
Bowl, bro.
I know compared to what though? A god compared to what?
Non-gods.
Hey,
Jay
anyone
Cutler
wanna-
was Jameis Winston before Jameis Winston.
I think one of the things that I said on draft night, I think still holds true for the rest of the draft. Of all of the hours I spent mocking and thinking my mocks were ugly, I think the draft turned out uglier than all of them.
The first round killed the whole. I mean,
Yeah,
the first round was ridiculous.
It was hideous.
Yeah, but it made day 2 fun.
Speaking of the mock,
Yep.
go ahead, bud.
No, that was your baby. Go ahead.
It was our baby.
I don't really know.
Well, it was
all
my
that.
baby because you guys didn't invite nobody.
I did. I invited a bunch of people.
And
they
how
just
many
didn't get
people
in.
got
I can't make them.
Yes, you can. I made all my people get in.
Moving on.
You must be more intimidating than I am.
I am. Look at me. Listen to me.
Listen to me.
So, how did it? So, what we're talking about is our mock contest, and shame on all you people that didn't get in it that listen.
Mm-hmm. I'm more upset with Tennessee, but I was gonna say I'm more upset with you than I am the Titans. But
So, how many people did we have get in?
12.
11. Is that counting Matt getting
No,
in?
there was 13 with Matt.
Oh, okay,
Matt
so
trying to
12.
double dip.
And how did they do? What were the standings?
I took a picture of it. So we had the scoring. It ended up a little different than what the app provided, but the final standings, the top 3 were Josh. Congrats, buddy. We still haven't figured out a prize, but you're gonna get one.
Close your eyes. What do you see?
Jay Meeks came in second, and Mama Tabby came in third.
I finished last.
And of us four, Richie came in first. I came in second. I lied. Ben came in second. I came in third. And not only did Ken come in last, but he came in dead last of the contest.
Fuck the Bengals. They screwed up my whole draft.
You also came in last of our little Post-it challenge.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I came in first for sure.
Yeah.
It was bad.
I think Ben and I tied.
That was really bad.
So our little bit amongst ourselves.
I didn't even
Ken
count
has
though.
breakfast.
I didn't even count it.
We didn't need to.
It might not have been as bad as I thought, but
I think it was.
I don't think it was that bad. Your mama. Anyway.
You will say it to her face?
Well, I have to sit in a chair to say it in her face. She's my favorite, though. She knows that. She knows I don't mean it.
She's the reason why I'm 5'0".
Pretty much.
My dad is 6'2", guys.
Can't tell. Anyway.
I'm not.
I'm really excited for what you're about to go over here.
Yeah, this is pretty juicy.
For
For all the people that are still sticking around an hour and a half in, check
We're
this out.
gonna talk about this for a lot of the shows coming
top
up.
five was long.
Well, we
Yours
did
was
double
It
up.
was really a top 10.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
we said 40 names, but
I have an idea for. I'll say we, but I was
This is your baby.
brainstorming. We want to do a league and make it a full lottery draft. And what I mean by lottery is truly you're drawing out of a tumbler, a bingo tumbler. The way it would work is we have 12 teams, 12 owners.
yeah, just use the example of a 12.
Mm-hmm.
It could be different, but we're going to use the example of a 12.
12 owners. So the way it would work to make the teams relatively even, I'm not saying completely even, but relatively, is like the first round would put 1 through 12 running backs based on their ADP that Sleeper or whoever, whatever we decide to use.
So you skipped a part.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The first part of it is putting all 12 names into
yes.
the tumbler
To
We'll
decide
have names
draft order.
for the draft order. Okay.
All fantasy team owners would go in to draw for the draft order, and then it would be by position. All the RB1s, 1 through 12. All the RB2s, 13 through 24.
So I guess my first question is, does the person who picks first then get the first pick of wide receivers?
No.
So it'll go.
So no one picks anything
No,
theoretically.
I know that.
They get the first ball out.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
with the draft order draw in the beginning, if you get the fifth pick of that, if you wind up with a fifth ball drawn in the draft order, every fifth ball drawn
Is yours.
for the RB1, RB2, wide receiver 1
Yes.
Is yours.
your guy.
Okay.
Yep.
So theoretically, everyone leaves. It's fair game as far as everyone leaving the draft with an RB1, an RB2.
RB3,
Yep.
wide
just-
receiver 1, 2,
It just
3,
depends
4.
on where that
Yep.
Yep.
top 12 falls. So
You could get if you have the first pick, you could get RB12, wide receiver 1, wide receiver 4. I mean,
You could end up with RB1,
All of it
you
across
could,
the board.
RB13.
it's truly a lottery.
Yep.
So what we believe this does is not only does it have some excitement, like whenever you
Like
buy a
watching it
scratch
live,
off, you're like, what am I going to get? What am I going to get? But not only that, but you don't have to be the smartest. It might interest you to bring you into the fantasy to want to learn more about it.
It would be huge for the casual
Player.
fantasy football.
Speaking of which, I think the biggest thing that we're missing here is that this is going to be a best ball league, correct or no? Because I think if we wanted to cater to casual, best ball allows you to just
Not set a
watch us
lineup.
pick your team, not set the lineup, bang. You just
It could,
But
but
you still need to play with your team. You still need to pick people up.
because you're going to have. I don't know that I want to do completely best ball. Maybe we could do rotisserie type scoring where it's not necessarily
this
like
guy
best
versus
ball.
this guy.
everyone for the
I think people still should be able to trade.
I like the idea of the best ball, like not this person playing this person, but like an overall for the week. But then you still have to set your lineup, and it's
What-
still.
We're tinkering with it. So
Yeah.
What it provides for the casual player is you don't need to know the players to receive them.
to draft them, yes.
Correct. What it does for an experienced player is it brings rankings home for
Yes.
you. If you end up with someone based on the lottery, say you like Dalvin Cook over Jonathan Taylor, but I like Jonathan Taylor over Dalvin Cook. You end up with Jonathan Taylor, I end up with Dalvin Cook. We can swap. I'll take them if you wanted to.
Yep. I mean,
It brings rankings into the bunch for an
And this is
experienced
just redraft, like a redraft aspect.
we
like
can
1
do
year.
it anyway. We can make it as a dynasty. We can make it as a redraft. We can
I-
make it as a keeper. We could do whatever.
But the initial goal of it is for the casual player.
It's for and the reason I like trading, because if you are a casual player that doesn't, maybe you've never been in a dynasty, where maybe you're just in a redraft where there isn't a lot of trades that go on. If you're in a Yahoo redraft, there's not a whole lot of people trading. You're just pretty much based with.
That's what my family league is,
Yep.
and all 12 of us know we're really good. I'm a casual. The other 11 are good. We're all really good. We all know what we're doing. We all know the players, but it's once you get your team. I mean, you can pick people up, you can drop people, but there's a couple trades a year, but that's the extent
That's
of it,
the
Very
extent,
rare.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If
which is fine. But
yeah. So what we like, and we haven't got any emails or anything from you guys. I think.
we've got a couple.
Yeah, but if you want to get in this league, email us. We could have more than one.
Or if you just like the idea of it,
Yes.
we could have 100 leagues.
Yep.
We'll host them all. We'll live
stream 'em.
stream every draft.
Yep.
Ken's wife's gonna dress slutty and pull the balls out of it.
Yep. So seriously, guys, we really want to do that. This is. I think it would be fun.
We're all juiced at the idea.
Yeah, this idea is
Coming up with the idea, we keep thinking of different things and different aspects, and it's
Yeah, I've never been in a lottery draft. I've never heard of a
It's not a
lottery
thing.
draft. I know.
we're
So
trademarking this right
even
now.
if I wasn't a part of like this side of it, I think watching that be done would be pretty exciting.
I mean, if we get 12 people that want to be in it, we won't be in it.
Can you imagine being in a draft, have nothing, you have no power in anything.
Yeah. You have
You're
no
watching it,
idea
you're
what
like, oh
you're
my
coming
god,
out
who am I
with.
gonna
Yeah.
get? Who am I gonna get? Who am I gonna get? Oh my god, oh my god.
Because when you go into when you go into an auction draft, you have guys you want to target. Whether it's the beginning of the draft, middle of the draft, or the end of the draft, you have guys that you want. So Bo's gonna go into a draft. I want DJ Moore.
I just thought of something.
I want DJ Moore, so I'm gonna overspend
If
to
we're in
make
the
sure
same
I
draft,
get him.
you're not getting him.
Right. So, but in this draft, you just have no. You're just gonna sit back and
have
watch
no
your
control.
team build.
Okay, so in the same aspect, if say I'm in 5 leagues, right? And you guys know my personality. I like to have the same players all across the board. In a league like this, I might get stuck with somebody I have nowhere else.
Right.
I might become a fan of this guy. I might start to hate this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different angles you can turn this, and we all love this idea.
My blood's boiling
Yeah,
in a good way. In a good
yeah.
way.
I mean, we're ready
Pumping.
to we're
Well,
ready
what
to
about the Titans?
we're ready to buy all this stuff to do this, and we just need some support with you guys. We need you guys to want to be in this league, so that way we know people are listening. We can see it on the download, so. We can see it on YouTube with our first video. There's 58 views. So there's 58 people there.
57 are probably from you.
I've only watched once.
Seriously?
Yes.
That's
So,
surprising.
I'm actually
Yeah.
gonna watch this episode on my TV tomorrow since I don't work tonight.
I was watching the last one on our TV. It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
So, but yes, we want to do this with you. This is one of the first league opportunities we want to do. Like I said, we'll do more than one. If we get 12 guys, we won't get in. We'll let you guys battle it out.
And another idea that we had a part of this is because it's a lottery league, because you don't really, your opinion really doesn't matter as far as what players you're getting. We could have 36 dudes in one league and have one team of 3 guys.
Yep. We could do that. There's a lot of things we can do with this. So if you have any feedback, you have any questions, go ahead and email them to the Casuals FFP @gmail.com, Twitter and Instagram with the Casuals FFP. I mean, like I said, we're excited about this league. Hopefully, you get excited with us. In the upcoming weeks, we're going to be covering divisions.
Are we going to, so there's 4 teams in division. Are you getting a team, you getting a team, I'm getting
I
a
think
team?
we'll just all talk about them. We'll
I would
just
much
bring
rather
each
have it that way.
bring up
I agree.
each team. Maybe how they finished last year. Just talk about them that way.
We could probably assess the additions that they had in the draft.
It'll be easier for the potential of getting callers into something like this.
Yep, fans of those teams, such
Oh, yeah,
such as that. We're also going to start putting our rankings together, so we can start bringing you that stuff.
Collab.
Yep. And again, participation. We wanna do it with you guys. So, any ideas, any suggestions, just hit us in the email. Again.
Or hit up our social media.
Yep. I already put it out there. You want me to do it again?
No, I was just saying
okay.
that was a
Facebook page for sure. I mean, we see that as well. So, all right, guys, we'll do another show here soon, and thank you for listening and becoming casualties.
Doses.
See ya.